at the exciting part of previewing our first DataTables builder build and looking at the HTML and how you can share that file. All right, the final step of the builder is to actually preview it. That's what we're going to be looking at. So whenever you've made a build, you can come in here and hit the preview, and you're going to get the exact same thing that a user would see. We're also going to look at the HTML tab and try to understand how you can actually take this constructed HTML and copy it and use it and share it with somebody. So in this video, there's one small cosmetic change I've made to the demo files, and I just wanted to make it pointed out to you. In the scripts workspace, I have added a new script folder called demo file, and I have moved a prior script into there. And I've also decided to add a new script folder called new to the demo file, so that as I add anything new, you guys can easily find it, and then older stuff will just move in there. So it's just simply cosmetic. It will have no change to the way we've been building. All right, in the DataTables builder, we are going to just go back, look at the preview mode for the report that we just created, talk about the HTML. We're going to copy that HTML and share it with somebody. And then we're going to come back and lock this report so we force ourselves not to be able to make a change to the very first report we've done. Okay, let's go hop into the build, the demo file, and see what we're going to do there. All right, we are in the demo file, HTML, and previewing your build. Let's hit the quick start and get back to where we were in our DataTables builder from last time. In the prior video, 1.4, we got to the point where we had loaded our data and constructed our columns. And now we are viewing the preview of that report. You can see here that there's all of the data that came from the JSON we loaded, and there's no restrictions on anything. We are using the default view for the report. So everything that was in the data is visible and searchable and in the same order that it came in this report. So if we look at this ID, active address, city is going to come in the exact same format that it came in from our data. So no touches here. This is standard out of the box, what you get from the data that you loaded. So what we want to do on the next step is be able to share this report with somebody. So let's take advantage of the same thing we've been learning on each video is by duplicating everything here. So let's go to video 1.4, open that up and take our actions of duplicating this record. Let's quickly change it to 1.5 so we all are on the same page. Okay, and this can stay the same and this can stay the same. All right, let's actually lock this report right now, because what we're trying to tell somebody is we built you something, and until I hear back from you, I don't want to make any more changes, because what I gave you as a copy is what is here now. So when I do this locking of the report, you can see I can no longer come in here and make any changes. So let's submit and close this. All right, I also want to point out, let's go back into that video right here, and I'm going to change this from video 1.5 example, and I can't change the name, but I don't like it. So let me quick unlock it, come back in here and say, sent to stakeholder, just to let me know that I'm changing it. Okay. And now I'm just going to lock it again. That's how easy it is to go in and out and make a change, but you're forcefully making yourself do that so you don't accidentally make a change you didn't intend to. So let's submit and close that. Now we can see that it's video 1.5 sent to stakeholder. All right. I also want to just point out that if we go look at the CSS, I cannot edit this. I cannot edit my libraries. I cannot edit my HTML. So I cannot change any of these things because the report is locked. Okay, so we're looking at the 1.5 report on the preview tab. Now let's just look at the layout. And all we're doing here on the layout of the preview tab is we have a web viewer called web that is just reading the field contents of DataTables Builder HTML. All right, so when we go back to the preview tab, it is actually just this field that is displaying. So what I want to show you is that if one of your stakeholders doesn't actually have FileMaker to go preview the data, you can go into this tab called HTML and hit the copy button, and it will copy all the contents of this. And what we're going to do right now is pretend like we're going to open up an editor. And in my case, I'm opening up Visual Studio. So I'll bring that on screen. I'm just going to create a new text file, and I'm going to paste that HTML, raw HTML right here. All right, so now I have my raw HTML file. Let me just quick save it to my desktop. And I will just call this video 1.5 export, and it's going to my desktop with an HTML tag, right? Save that there. Okay, move this out of the way. And I can see here in my desktop that I have an HTML file. Let me right click that and have it open with my default browser, which happens to be Google Chrome in this case. And here I am pulling open an actual file that can be interacted with by your user, who can then mock this up and return it back to you with their changes. So that is one way to be able to share your file. You could email this to them. You could put it on a network drive. And it's as long as you're connected to the internet, because in our references, we're still referencing a website here, they can still interact with it. They do not need to be in FileMaker. Another way to share your report that you've just built is using simply FileMaker skills. So let's look at the HTML here. What we're going to do is copy our HTML. All right, we've got that on the clipboard. What I've got over here is I've built another simple data file, or opened a different application, not tied to this at all. I have created a layout that has a web viewer on it called web. And if we look at it, it's just got a web address of a global variable called global HTML. Okay, so if we look at that right now, there's nothing in it. But if we go to our data viewer, and I had already just created a global variable, if I open this up, global HTML, and I simply paste my HTML in here and say, okay, I can now come back to my report, and I have the same thing here. So this is super easy. You can go construct your HTML in the builder, grab the actual final HTML into a global variable, and come back to your own solution and display it this way. So I'm just giving you ideas how easy it is to construct in a different file and use that constructed report and automatically show it in any place you want in your solution. So that's another option to share your data.